All right, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. We're here with Coach Steiner after the spring practices and the spring game tonight. Coach, third spring practice. Saw a lot of zip and a step out there tonight.
Yeah, they've done a great job in the off season, and we've gotten a lot stronger and a lot more athletic, and so that's a tribute to Coach Howell and Coach Seaver and Coach Freight and all those guys that's been really working hard with them in the weight room and out here on the field and just improving their skill level, and so we're excited about this group. There's a lot of talent in this group, and then what I told the team, most importantly, this group is and you hate to say stuff like this because it's not a reflection on Lindsey Bell's group or the group before, because we had a lot of high character guys in those groups too, but this group is extraordinarily high character, and they really love each other, and that's awesome. That's when your locker room is turning in a good way, and so that's the exciting part.
Where has this team made the most improvement even from the end of last year?
I think, obviously if you look at our lines, those guys have really, a lot of it's just God-given ability or genetics. They've grown. And, you look at Summy and Daniel and Sean and even Jalen and Amanzie and all Hunter, all those guys that are playing up front. And you hate to keep harping on those guys, but I like to harp on those guys because they don't ever get any attention. But those guys are big, and and then you got as good a skill set as we have on the back half. We've got some talented guys that can handle the football, and when you're running behind those guys, I think us four could probably do fairly well getting some yards. Well, maybe not, but I like to think that we could. So I think that's the biggest thing is both of our lines have really, they were already big, but they've really grown. And, off the hoof, our first group is going to match up against most people. And now, we don't have as much depth as we need, and we're going to have, that's one thing we're trying our best is to develop some depth. But, as far as our frontline guys are pretty darn good, and especially from a size and strength standpoint.
Big senior class last year that contributed a lot, but I saw a lot of new names, at least from the varsity level, making plays tonight.
Yeah, there's some young guys in that 9th grade group from last year that have stepped up. There's probably 4 or 5 in that group that have a chance to play on Friday night. And then our junior class is huge. We have 37. I mean, there's a lot of juniors. And there's some talented young men in that group too. So, and they're that junior class is extraordinarily tight-knit, and there hasn't been a lot of attrition with them. I mean, there's a few that aren't out here that need to be, and hopefully we'll get them back this summer. There was a couple that didn't play tonight, and that are special players, and for whatever reason, and we won't get into that. But that's just but that junior class is huge, and but you're right, we lost a lot of really good seniors, but some young guys have kind of stepped up and filled those roles, and it's spring ball. We'll see when we're down here August the 6th and then August the 9th with Goose Creek and Burns. We'll know real quick what we have and what we've got to work on. So that's good.
Where do you think you might, after the spring practice, is any particular area you think you really need to work on more than any one other?
I mean, really all of them. I think we've got to get better at every position, and we're focused on Laurens. We ain't worried about the Northwesterns and the Burnses and all those guys, and we're worried about Clinton because that's our first opponent, and we can't compare ourselves to those folks. We just got to worry about us and us getting better, and because we have to narrow the gap, and there is a gap, but we're really close to narrowing it, and I've seen a lot of things that I know personally from just 21 years now, it's hard to believe, but that we're not far away from being in that sentence with some of those guys, and most of that is above the shoulders. I'd say 90% of that is above the shoulders. We're starting to believe that we belong, and that's to me that's where it all starts.
I have one last question for you, for the benefit of the people who'll be watching this. When is that first Saturday scrimmage that you're going to have where you bring in about 5 teams?
It's August the 6th here, and that's us, Midland Valley, who played in the state championship this past year, Emerald, who made it to the semifinals this past year, Strom Thurmond, who's always a really good football team, Malden, who we play, but we play them so late that I don't care about it, them coming to the scrimmage, and the last couple of years, York has come. I've talked to Pageland Center. I've talked to several other teams about taking their place because it's such a far drive for them. But right now, it's just us 5, and we're planning on adding a 6th. And again, I've talked to 3 or 4 teams about, adding them to come because it's. A lot of people are afraid of that scrimmage because you're playing 5 games. And holy crap, 5 games. They don't realize they're getting 5 different looks. They're only going 20, 25 minutes. And you get a bunch of video that you can really coach your kids up with because you're not seeing the same defense and offense just over and over and over again for 2.5 hours. So I love that scrimmage. We came, even when I was at 96 and Greg was running it, we came and it was a really good deal. And I'm glad we're able to continue it.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Thanks, Coach.
Yep, appreciate it, guys.